I think that one of the biggest challenges as a transitioning UX designer is figuring out where to even start. You could go the completely self-taught route, you can go through a boot camp or formal education through university or college, or you could do something that's kind of in the middle. I weighed all of my options and I did end up choosing to do this something in the middle. But today I'm actually going to be talking about how boot camps can be great, but why I ultimately chose not to do one. Hi everybody, welcome back. As you know, my name's Karen and I am trying to transition into UX design. Today we're going to be talking about boot camps because, as most of you know, most of us who transition into UX design probably have to take a boot camp first. Today I want to talk about how boot camps can be really great and the pros of actually attending a boot camp, but I also wanted to bring up some of the cons and why taking a different route could work better for you like it did for me. And as always, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to mention this in the video, but there is actually a creative jam that is meant to start on, I think, August 3rd. So if you're looking for an opportunity to kind of get your feet wet and actually do a little bit of designing with a group of people, this is definitely a good opportunity. The only thing, it is a huge time commitment, so I wouldn't do it if you're really busy. But definitely check out the event. I'll link it down below. You do have to register, so register quick. And you do need a team though of a minimum of 2. If you don't know anybody, then maybe you can write in the comment section down below that you're interested, and then hopefully you'll be able to connect with somebody else who might want to do it with you. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. If you've already seen my first video, you'll know that I made a document comparing a bunch of the different boot camps that are on the market right now. And so I'll link that down below, but just as a disclaimer, please do verify the information because I did put this together a year ago. So it is possible that some of the things changed, but that should give you an idea of how the different schools compare to each other in terms of their offerings, their prices, etc. So first things first, let's talk about money. As you know, most boot camps are pretty pricey. They can be very expensive, and I'm gonna speak more in terms of Canadian dollars, but they can range from like 7K to about 10K. So that's a pretty big range there, and it really depends on what school that you're looking at. The cheapest one that I found was actually Career Foundry, and the most expensive, I believe it was Brain Station. So it's really important that when you are looking at a boot camp that you decide which school do you want to go to and why are you choosing them? Is it because they have more prestige and are more well-known? Is it because they offer special capstone projects? Is it because they have a different mentorship scheme? But I'm gonna be honest, when I looked into a lot of the companies, they offered a lot of the same things, so this big price gap seems a bit crazy. However, although boot camps are expensive, they can be worth it because they offer structure, they offer you classmates in a cohort to work together with, they offer you mentors. So there are a lot of benefits to taking a boot camp. You just have to decide, can I afford this? And if you can't, there are scholarships available for a lot of these boot camps. You don't get covered the full amount, but you can get maybe $1,000 knocked off of the price. And depending on the country that you live in, your government might actually sponsor you fully. Because I have a friend in the UK who was able to take a Career Foundry boot camp for free because she was sponsored by her government. I ultimately decided not to do it because I couldn't really rationalize spending 10K on a boot camp that may or may not land me a job when I could take a slower approach, try and learn things on my own. Although I know it'll be difficult, I think that I can do it. So if you've been following my journey, you'll know that I'm doing the self-taught route, but I am taking some organized courses through Coursera with both Google and the University of Michigan, both of which I am taking for free because I'm on scholarship. The second major benefit of taking a boot camp is you're put into a cohort, which means that you are with a certain group of students for the whole duration of your courses. And so this is amazing because you have people that you can consistently relate to and get advice from, and also you have an accountability network. So this is really, really good, especially for online learning. So that is a major, major benefit of taking a boot camp, is you automatically get placed with a group of people, and so you can go through the journey together. Now, for me personally, I don't think that this is a huge barrier to me. I could see how it would be a huge barrier to some other people. But for me, I just kind of was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna be riding solo and I know that I'm not very good at studying on my own and being accountable, then I'm responsible for creating my own accountability network and my own cohort. So when I joined Google Coursera to do the certification, I actually made my own Slack channel and made my own little study group, which is still going strong. We actually meet every Sunday to talk about our progress and everything like that. And I did this on purpose because, well, one, it's nice to create a community for everyone, but two, I also made this group out of selfish reasons to help keep myself accountable. These people know where I'm at, what I'm trying to do next, and the projects that I'm working on, and so I have them asking me every week, oh, Karen, so where are you with this project? Have you made progress on that? And so I have these people kind of like keeping me motivated and keeping me accountable. So if you're struggling, make your own study group or join mine. It's totally fine. You have access to mentors and career advisors. That is amazing. It is a huge advantage, and it is kind of a form of career networking for you as a newbie, and this is great. From what I have researched, you get paired with mentors throughout your bootcamp. So whenever you have questions about, say, your project or what you're learning, you could go directly to them. And as for the career advisors, you have access to them throughout the entirety of your bootcamp. So you can get them to look at your resume, you could get them to help you with interviewing. And I think I've also heard that if you do quite well, the career advisors might actually link you to certain companies and help you land a job. However, I have heard from some people that career advisors are not accessible to you after you've graduated. This may not be true for every bootcamp, but to me that kind of sucks because that's when you need them the most. When you're done your schooling and you're actually job hunting, that's when you need to rely on them and get help from them, especially if you're kind of hitting a wall and you're not able to land a job just yet. For me, this wasn't a huge loss because you can find mentors on your own. There's ADP list. There's also a bunch of different groups on LinkedIn where you can connect yourself to different mentors and people who are willing to help you for free. And so they do exist, and you just kind of have to ask around. So just because you're not taking a boot camp doesn't mean that you all of a sudden don't have access to mentors. You do, you just have to look for them. You could even just network with people and occasionally send them a question here or there. Most people are willing to help and answer your questions. The other thing that is really, really great about boot camps is they are meant to be completed in about 4 to 6 months. So if you're on a time crunch and you're trying to change careers pretty quickly, this is actually a really, really great way for you to do that. The only thing is a lot of these boot camps, although some of them have scheduled classes, a lot of them, on the other hand, are go at your own pace. For me, I am choosing to not attend a boot camp, so I would say that the con of this is sometimes I lose track of time and I'm not as productive as I wish that I could have been for, the last week. But on the other hand, I could power through the next week and really pick and choose, like, okay, I feel like I haven't been focusing too much on my UI stuff, so this week I'm gonna do UI stuff. Okay, I haven't made too much progress on my portfolio, so I'm gonna focus on my portfolio this week. And so you have a lot of freedom. Another huge benefit of taking a bootcamp is you get to work on a couple capstone projects. And so these are big projects that are meant to be put into your portfolio as a case study. And that is really, really good because you need a case study to have a successful portfolio to show off when you are job hunting and interviewing. If you don't have a portfolio, you're not going to get a job. And so one really huge advantage of taking a bootcamp is you're going to leave the bootcamp with a case study. Now, the only thing that I want you to consider about this point is that just because your bootcamp kind of forces you to make a capstone project doesn't mean that you're going to be given the amount of time that you need to make the capstone project very presentable and pretty aesthetically. Because a lot of students will tell you that they finished the capstone project and they did it, but then when they were done their bootcamp, they had to redo the capstone project to really make it presentable. So whether you're in a bootcamp or not in a bootcamp, you are going to have to focus on making it more pretty. So I wouldn't necessarily say that the bootcamp is a huge advantage or benefit to you as a designer trying to make a portfolio. The other thing, I don't know if you're aware of this, but most companies, they choose the topic of the capstone project for you, or they give you a few options and you have to choose from one of those. The problem is that most of these capstone projects are made up. They are not really based on real companies or real problems. Recruiters might not like the fact that you have all of these case studies based off of fake companies and fake problems. And so the one advantage of, maybe doing the more self-taught route and making your own case study is that you can find a real company that has a real problem and research all of the issues for their user group and put it into your case study. And that, to me, I think it looks way better than something that's made up, which pretty much all of the boot camps will require you to do, because let's be real, they don't have time to tell everybody like, okay, let's all brainstorm what real companies in the world can we focus on. And last but not least, I think that the ultimate benefit of a bootcamp is all of the skills that you are going to gain from the curriculum. The skills that you gain in this curriculum, I might actually lose out on because I'm not being exposed to certain things. So I'm aware of the fact that if you're taking a bootcamp, you could be learning things that I don't even know I should be learning. And that is a real thing. And so I do want to be pretty realistic with you guys and tell you that you could miss out on certain things if you do it the way that I'm doing. But I think that as long as I am communicating with different people, getting curious, asking questions, I'm hoping that I will kind of fill that gap, that knowledge gap, and find and learn what I need to learn to land myself a UX job. I am considering interviewing a few UX designers who are a bit more well-established or have been through the process to really pick their brains and understand their role, how they got to where they're going, all of that stuff. And I was curious, what would your top 5 burning questions be if you could talk to them yourself? I want to ask these questions for all of us, and I want to be able to share the answers with you. So what would be your top 5 questions? What's something that you really want to know, that you want advice on, or just want some clarification on? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you next time, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, I have a little Slack channel for anyone who needs an accountability network or wants to join my weekly meetings. If you want to join, definitely join. Don't be shy. Bye.